Hello guys, welcome to Solving Solutions, your bound channel where I get solutions to all your solving problems. It's nice having you in class again today. How have you been? On today's tutorial, we are going to show you how to create features in ArcGIS Pro. So we have actually moved in a boundary. That's the boundary of my alma mater, Federal School of Surveying, Oyo. So we are going to create features within that school. So let's try to change the symbology. Okay, we can decide to come to symbology and then for the outline, and then come to properties. We can decide to make this about 2, and then let's make this red. Right, good. So now this is the extent we want to create our features. So let's close symbology. By default, when you launch your ArcGIS Pro, a Geodatabase is created for you. So you come to the catalog pane and then you go to databases, you use the drop down. You will see the Geodatabase that has been created, right? Good. So you can decide to navigate to a folder of choice, or you leave it at the default folder. So you right click on that Geodatabase and then you go to new, and then under new you select feature class, right? Good. So we now have the create feature class window. So for the first one, since you can create feature class for points, lines and polygons, the procedure is the same depending on what the type of feature stored in your feature class. So now let's call this let's call that buildings. It can be any of the vector representations in points, lines, polygons. Then for the type, we are going with a polygon because we are actually digitizing buildings. Then for the geometric properties, you might not bother yourself much about these. You leave it as default as they are. Then for the field, you can have the name of the building as a particular field, and then for the data type, that's actually what? Text, right? Good. Then you can decide to see some of the properties of that field, the length and the rest of that. You can add more field again. Maybe that will be the area, and then for the type, you can use double. So you can add as many fields as possible for the features that you want to create. We go to next. Now for the coordinate reference system, which is very important because of the extent that we have included, it is giving us the coordinate reference system of that location. It's a projected system which is on 31. You can decide to work with a geographic system which stops at WGS 1984, right? Good. So for you to find out, when you come to this point, you see the geographic, you see the projected. So you just use the drop down, navigate to the choice, you select which one you want to use, right? Good. So since the boundary or the extent, the project area has defined the system for us, we are going to stick with that. So we move to next. We leave the tolerance as default as it is. We move to next. We also leave the resolution the same way. We move to next. And then I think we can just click on finish. Good. You can see it under the content pane. Now we come to edit, and then under the edit, under the features group, we click on create. Now under the create window, you are seeing different vector data as we have under the content pane. So we click on the buildings because that's what we want to create features for. So we are trying to digitize polygons. So we just navigate to any of the buildings or the classrooms as we can see here. So let's say we want to digitize this. Right click and then you finish, right? Good. So you can open the active template pane. So whenever you digitize, let's give it a name, and then the area can be auto calculated, or you can also populate it as the case may be. So this is a classroom, and then this is the area. We can decide to digitize the second building. And that's the area. So let's come to the third one. So let's assume that we are done. We can decide to save. And then we open the attribute table to check the different features we have digitized. So this is how you create features. We have used Polygon on today's tutorial on ArcGIS Pro, and then also using the template to populate what the attribute, right? So as I said earlier, you can use the same format to create that of points, lines, and other vector data formats. So we'll see you on the next one. Until then, keep staying safe and have a fantastic time. Bye.